You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Saturday the 6th of September, 2025. It is 78 days after the summer solstice. It is 16 days before the fall equinox. In the U.S. Open, the women's final takes place today. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 20th day of Fructidor, the day of the Hut, the harvesting basket. The sun rises today at 6:28 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:54 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:19 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:47 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 8:20 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 37 seconds, shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 99% full at midday. The full moon will arrive tomorrow. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 3:34 a.m., 6 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 9:52 a.m., 1 meter 55. In the afternoon, low tide, 3:51 p.m., 12 centimeters. At night, high tide, 10:09 p.m., 1 meter 68. In our shared realm of plants and animals. For trees and plants, this has not been the easiest of summers. For the last 2 months, our weather pattern has been one of prolonged periods of dry heat lasting more than a week at a time, interspersed with occasional massive downpours. The youngest, newly planted street trees have borne the brunt of this. It remains to be seen next year whether they bounce back, or whether this year's heat has finished them off. And so it was a pleasure yesterday morning, after a night of steady, even rain, to see the sun rise to a clear blue sky. The intensity of the heat has waned, and an hour after sunrise, droplets of water clung to the flowers and bushes. Bumblebees, in the arcing morning light, made their way from flower to flower. Perhaps the fall will see a more measured balance of dry and wet spells. Commemorations. A day of inventions and innovations. On this day in 1916, Piggly Wiggly was established by Clarence Saunders in Memphis, Tennessee. It was the first modern supermarket. Up until that time, it was customary for grocery shoppers to present lists of goods to clerks behind the market counter. The clerks ran to the storerooms to fetch the goods. Saunders' innovation at the new Piggly Wiggly was to allow shoppers in to select their own goods from the shelves. Customers entered through a turnstile and wended their way through the shop before they reached the till at the exit. It was a completely new way of shopping for food. The new format of the store did mean shoplifting was made easier, but the impulse buys by customers apparently made up for any losses. It also made packaging and brand recognition key to the dynamic of grocery sales, as products had to attract the attention of the passing customer. Clarence Saunders' new supermarket would create the shopping culture we have known to this day. Will shopping online shift that dynamic? On this day in 1921, Norman Joseph Woodland was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was an inventor and engineer. He was one of the inventors of the barcode, for which he received a patent in 1952. He based its design on the use of Morse code that he had learned as a Boy Scout. Later, he helped develop the Universal Product Code, used to identify products. The first item whose UPC was scanned was a packet of chewing gum in an Ohio supermarket in 1974. On this day in 1930, Charles Foley was born in Lafayette, Indiana. He was the co-inventor of the game Twister. Twister is played on a large plastic mat spread on the floor. The players spin a dial to determine where they can place their hand or foot on the mat. The players' own bodies are the playing pieces. Its motto is, "The game that ties you up in knots." Ava Gabor famously played it with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show in 1966, which added to its popularity. Teenagers, of course, were drawn to the game because it created a scrum of young bodies intertwined on the living room floor. Some critics said the toy company Milton Bradley was selling sex in a box, which in a certain sense is true. Finally, we wish a happy birthday to the actor Idris Elba, born this day in 1972 in the London borough of Hackney. Probably best known to American audiences through his role on The Wire, he has had a wide career across the stage, television, and film. Happy birthday, Idris Elba. And that is the Observatory, Saturday the 6th of September, 2025.